Week 13 of the 2024 NFL season has had intense playoff implications in both conferences. Let's break down the playoff picture, key matchups, and scenarios for clinching berths. AFC playoff picture. Kansas City Chiefs, 11-1, AFC West leaders. The Chiefs are first in the AFC after narrowly defeating the Raiders on Black Friday. This victory secured Kansas City's first playoff berth of the season, and they're aiming for an unprecedented third consecutive Super Bowl win. Despite this, their head-to-head tiebreaker disadvantage against Buffalo means they must keep winning. The remaining schedule includes games against tough opponents like the Chargers, Steelers, and Texans. Buffalo Bills, 9-2, AFC East leaders. With a firm grip on the division, the Bills can secure a fifth consecutive title with a win over the 49ers. The team is in a great position to claim the top seed in the AFC, especially with their head-to-head advantage over Kansas City. Their remaining schedule features games against the 49ers, Jets, and Patriots. Pittsburgh Steelers, 8-3, AFC North leaders. Despite a tough loss to Cleveland in Week 12, the Steelers remain in the hunt for the AFC's top spot. They must rebound quickly to maintain a home field advantage, especially with critical matchups against the Bengals, Chiefs, and Ravens ahead. Houston Texans, 7-5, AFC South leaders. The Texans are struggling after losing 4 of their last 6 games, raising concerns about their ability to advance deep into the postseason. Their remaining schedule is challenging, with games against the Jaguars, Chiefs, and Ravens, which could determine their fate. Baltimore Ravens, 8-4, wild card number 1. The Ravens are solid contenders, but need to avoid losing to lower-tier teams to secure a playoff spot. With challenging games against the Eagles, Steelers, and Texans, Baltimore's path to a home playoff game will be difficult. Los Angeles Chargers, 7-4, wild card number 2. The Chargers are hanging on to a playoff spot, but have several weaknesses that could cost them in the stretch run. Games against the Chiefs and Patriots will test their resilience and playoff viability. Denver Broncos, 7-5, wild card number 3. The Broncos are continuing to hold on to the final AFC playoff spot and have a favorable schedule that should help them stay in the race. Denver must capitalize on these opportunities with upcoming games against the Browns, Colts, and Chiefs. Indianapolis Colts, 5-7, in the hunt. The Colts' playoff hopes fade after a tough loss. A win over Denver is crucial in their fight for the final wild card spot. Miami Dolphins, 5-7, in the hunt. Despite a winning streak, the Dolphins' loss to the Packers on Thursday significantly hurt their playoff chances. A must-win game against the Jets is essential for Miami to keep its postseason hopes alive. Cincinnati Bengals, 4-7, in the hunt. The Bengals' playoff chances hang by a thread after consecutive tough losses. They must win their remaining games, including tough matchups against the Steelers and Ravens, to stay relevant in the playoff race. NFC playoff picture. Detroit Lions, 11-1, NFC North leaders. The Lions are having their best season in decades, and their Thanksgiving win over the Bears put them in a prime position to claim the top NFC seed. With a favorable schedule, Detroit could clinch a playoff spot early with critical wins over the Packers and Bills. Philadelphia Eagles, 9-2, NFC East leaders. The Eagles have been dominant but face a tough challenge with games against the Ravens and Cowboys. Their remaining schedule is demanding, but they could secure a top playoff seed if they continue to win. Seattle Seahawks, 6-5, NFC West leaders. After a crucial victory over the Cardinals, the Seahawks now lead their division and are in an excellent position to make the playoffs. With games against the Jets, Packers, and Rams, Seattle's playoff hopes depend on maintaining their momentum. Atlanta Falcons, 6-5, NFC South leaders. Despite losing in Week 12, Atlanta still leads the NFC South, but the Saints closely follow them. Upcoming games against the Chargers and Vikings will determine whether they can hold on to their divisional lead. Minnesota Vikings, 9-2, wild card number 1. The Vikings are winning close games and remain in the playoff hunt, just one game behind Detroit in the NFC North. They face a strict schedule, including matchups against the Cardinals and Lions, which could decide their fate. Green Bay Packers, 9-3, wild card number 2. The Packers are in good shape for a playoff berth and could still challenge the NFC North title. Their tough remaining games include divisional matchups against the Lions and Vikings, where every win counts. Washington Commanders, 7-5, wild card number 3. The Commanders' playoff hopes fade after 3 consecutive losses. Their remaining schedule is demanding, with games against the Eagles and Cowboys, meaning they must win most of their remaining matchups. Arizona Cardinals, 6-5, in the hunt. The Cardinals' 4-game win streak ended in Seattle, and now they must bounce back against teams like the Vikings and 49ers to remain in the playoff hunt. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 5-6, in the hunt. After a win over the Giants, the Bucs can make a late-season push. They could potentially sneak into a wild card spot with a favorable schedule if they win out. Los Angeles Rams, 5-6, in the hunt. The Rams need to turn around after a disappointing loss to the Eagles. Their remaining games, including matchups against the 49ers and Seahawks, are crucial for staying alive in the playoff race. San Francisco 49ers, 5-6, in the hunt. The 49ers' playoff hopes are on life support after losing to the Packers. Games against tough teams like the Bills and Lions will determine whether they can make a late push. Dallas Cowboys, 5-7, in the hunt. Despite being under .500, the Cowboys are still in the mix for a playoff spot after their Thanksgiving win over the Giants. They'll need to string together victories with challenging games ahead to stay alive. New Orleans Saints, 4-7, in the hunt. The Saints have won 2 straight games under interim coach Darren Rizzi, keeping their slim playoff hopes alive. A strict schedule looms, but they're not out of it yet. Chicago Bears, 4-8, in the hunt. After a heartbreaking loss to the Lions, the Bears are eliminated from playoff contention, especially after firing coach Matt Eberflus. NFL playoff clinching scenarios for Week 13. The Buffalo Bills can clinch the AFC East title with a win. Detroit Lions can clinch a playoff berth with losses to the 49ers, Cardinals, Seahawks, Buccaneers, Commanders, and Falcons. Teams eliminated from playoff contention. New York Giants, Las Vegas Raiders. As we head into Week 13, the race for playoff spots is heating up. Several teams still have a chance to clinch a berth, while others are fighting to stay alive. Watch the remaining games to see which teams will secure their postseason futures.